Hello, thanks for tuning in again. This week's reservoir tutorial is going to be a variation on the dial back. It's a fly I've had in my back pocket for a long time, and I did debate whether to share it or not, but I thought I'm not really competing that much anymore. I might as well let the cat out of the bag, so to speak. So in the vise I have a Hanak 200 barbless hook. It's at size 12, and I'm going to use the Fish-On Ultimate Tyne Silk, and it's black. So first thing I'm going to do, as always with the silks, is a little coat of super glue on the shank, and I'm going to bring my thread all the way back to where the barb would have been on your average Kamasan. Now for the tail of this feather, I'm using some old mallard that's no good for dabblers to me, so I've just, instead of throwing out the feather, I use it for dial backs. So I'm going to take a small clump of that, pull them all together, and I want it to be about 3/4 of the length of the body itself. I'm going to catch that in, bring it all the way back up near the front. I'll get rid of this waist here. I can then tidy that up and come all the way to the back. Next then I'm going to tie in my rib. It's just simply a silver rib, and I'm going to lay it the full length of the body, catch that in, and then bring my thread all the way back to the base. And for the main part of the body, I'm going to use some dyed black peacock herring, and I'm looking for 2 fibres, and I want to catch them in at the tips. Now when I'm using this, any peacock herring that's been dyed is compromised strength wise, so always just put a little bit of pressure on so that you get the tip ends broken away. Then you can grab the good part, or the stronger part should I say, and catch them in. Now I'm going to wind this towards myself, keeping it in touch and turns where I can. Up the body, and I'm going to stop that just there. So it seems quite well back, and there's a good reason for that. So I'm going to catch that in, which will become apparent in a second. I've just folded that back, and I've ripped away my peacock herring. Forgot to mention what I was doing there. Okay, next, so the peacock herring came towards me. The wire rib is going to move away from me, and I'm keeping that nice even turns all the way up to the head, and again I'm going to catch that in. Now you can at this point get a rubber. Just going to use the one on my pencil here, just to thin out the fluff on the fly. Okay, next I'm going to add jungle cock eyes on this fly. I've got a cape here. I've selected a feather from the bottom end here where they're a bit smaller, and I've made sure that I've got a little slit in it so that when I dress it up to the hook, it splits naturally. Now, I've left the guard hairs on this one. So, the last time I used Jungle Cock, I believe I stripped these away. This time, I'm going to keep the guard hairs on. I think it just adds to the fly. So I'm just encouraging it to split open. Now it has done that, and you can't see, but it has split right down the middle. So I'm just going to come in there. If I just open my vise up to make sure, no, it's not quite right. So I'm going to undo that. And I'm gently going to just ease that feather up into position a bit better. There we go. And I can lock that down now. Okay, if I lock my vise off again, I can come in with my snips. Like so. Okay, back to my feathers for hackling, and for the underneath the beard, I'm going to take another clump of feathers, straighten them all out, and I want them just shy of the length of the body. So when I dress that up, like so, I've got it just shy of the length of the body. And that looks like it's going to have a huge head now, but that's not the case. So this fly on its own actually, just tied as is with a normal head, would work just a treat. But what I've done, which I think does add some value to the fly, is I've added some of this SLF dub in. It's called Prism. You can't see the label anymore, but it's a peacock green. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to make a little dubbing loop with my thread, so I can enter some of the, just bear with me, it's been a little bit of a bugger. There we go. So I can now enter a little bit of that. I've only got a very tiny bit in my clip here. I'm going to catch that in, and I'm going to twist that up. Now that's far too much for my requirements, so what I'm going to do is come in pretty harshly actually and strip it away. So all I'm left with is a tiny little brush at the back here. So I'm going to make sure that my Jungle Cock eyes, I'm just going to open it up and have a look. Yeah. And I'm now tying this in at the head. So that's done. To finish off, as ever, I'm going to come in with some UV resin on my thread, and then from the front of the eye, sorry, the back of the eye, I'm going to work my way backwards and then finish up with a half hitch. That doesn't seem to want to snap off, so I'll just cut that with my scissors, and then I'll just come in and cure it with my torch. And then simply tease the dub in the direction it wants to go, and you've got a dial back there with a little bit more bling, and that's caught me an awful lot of fish when everything else has failed. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you find it of some use, and thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.